Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Now, for the 171st episode, we are going to discuss about Nathan Drake, the main protagonist in the Uncharted franchise. This episode is another special episode to me because Nathan Drake is definitely my favorite character in the whole video game industry. I mean, let's be honest, this guy is pretty much the 21st century version of Indiana Jones, but for video games. And in other words, the Indiana Jones of the Gen Z. And in this episode, we're going to discuss all there is to know about him throughout Uncharted from 1 to 4 to understand Nathan Drake and his journey from an orphan who lost everything to the hero and archaeologist who saved the world. And now, let's begin. Nathan Drake was originally born in West Case, Florida, USA, in 1976 under the name of Nathan Morgan, and to his mother Cassandra Morgan and an unknown father. And growing up, he had an older brother in Sam Morgan that he was the best friends with. And at the beginning, his life was pretty normal. But sadly, by 1981, his mother fell victim to an illness that led to her committing the unthinkable. And the father surrendered the boys, Nate and Sam, to an orphanage, St. Francis Boys Home, and he pretty much cut ties with the kids and moved on. At the orphanage, Sam always protected and looked after him, but sadly, when he aged out of the system, Nate was left on his own. But by 1989, Nate's entire life has been changed forever when he and Sam snuck out of the orphanage, usually, and they tracked down the one who bought all their mom's stuff. And her name was Evelyn, an elderly woman that revealed herself to be her former employer, and detailed to the boys about her discoveries, adventures, and other things about her. And so, eventually, she surrendered the journal to the boys, hoping that maybe one day they could finish what she started. But sadly, around the same time, Evelyn had a heart attack and caused her to die right there on the spot, and the boys were mostly blamed for it, resulting in them escaping from the police, and now realizing they cannot return back to their old lives. That's pretty much Nate and Sam have officially changed their identities from Nate and Sam Morgan into Nate and Sam Drake in order to honor their mother and her theories regarding Sir Francis Drake. And from here on out, Nathan has become the treasure hunter and fugitive and thief that we know he is today. By 1991, he ended up in Cartagena, Colombia, on his own when he tried to steal Sir Francis Drake's ring from a museum. And right here and there, he met the two people that came to change his life. First was Victor Sullivan, or Sally, was an international con man who stole other things in order to survive, and he came to eventually save Nate from danger. The other was Kathleen Morley, a British businesswoman and the leader of a secret society who wanted a ring and a device in order to accomplish her own goals. And she literally tried to murder Nate here before Sally intervened and saved Nate. And here, from here on out, Sully has technically adopted Nate and Sam to a certain degree, although Sam is already an adult, and he became like a father to them. And with this, the trio travel around the world. Officially, he taught them about how to con people and to steal and to get away with it, and pretty much he played a big part in shaping Nate. He also did have a relationship at some point with Chloe Fraser, but eventually they broke up. And circa around 1999, Nate, Sam, and team up with an American billionaire, Ray Fadler, and went to Panama when they got into prison in order to search an old Spanish abandoned tower where Harry Avery was detained. And they only found an empty crucifix and more problems with the guard. As as the guard that they were bright at the time, Vargas, pretty much tried to kill them to steal everything for himself, with leading to Rafe killing him in the process. And with this, the trio managed to escape from prison, or rather the duo, as Sam has been similarly shot dead right there and then, right in front of them, and he was similarly killed in the process. An event which greatly traumatized Nate, and it broke him, temporarily speaking, and a trauma that he came to carry for the rest of his life. But with this, he and Rafe kind of said their goodbyes, and he and Sally reunited and traveled around the world together as a duo. And now, by the year 2007, as Nate officially started searching for El Dorado, he came to fall in love with a reporter, Elena Fisher, which, with her help and with her money, helped to finance his expedition. And they came in conflict with some Caribbean pirates at first. Then they ended up in the Amazon when they came into conflict with the crime lord, Gabriel Rowan, and his assistant, and later main antagonist, Anton Navarro, and this search led them to some island into the Pacific where they found El Dorado. Was revealed to be infected with a virus that turned people into monsters. And by with this, Nate in the end saved the day. He defeated Navarro, saved Elena, and caused El Dorado to sink to the ocean. Then, by 2009, he has been tricked by Harry Flynn in searching for Shambhala, only to be betrayed in the favor of his employer. Zoran Lazar, a Yugoslav war veteran and a terrorist who wants to find Shambhala to gain immortality so he can take over the world. And he went through a wild goose chase, first in Turkey, where Nate has spent 3 months in jail, then in Borneo, then in Nepal, and eventually in the Himalayas, in which Nate was caused the train in order to crash, and Nate was severely injured before he was saved by a Tibetan village. And they found Shambhala, and he managed to stop Lazarevich and pretty much save the world. And now by 2011, Asi and Sally, alongside with Chloe, Charlie Carter, and later with Elena, all went to search for the lost city of Iram of the Pillars. And they came into conflict with Catherine Morley for the first time in 20 years, who tried to kill them so she can find Iram, so she and her secret society can use the power of a substance known as the gene to bring the society under their control. They went through a goose chase through England, through France, through Syria, Yemen, and eventually found Iram into Rub al Khali desert. And Nate and Sally's bond has strengthened, and Marley too has eventually met her demise. And now, for a while, he took a break from adventures, married with Elena, moved to New Orleans, and started a new life. And he is part of an underwater scavenge company. But sadly, his marriage and relationship in general are kind of hollow as he misses the adventures. And things now changed again. Now, by 2014, his brother Sam came back into his life after after he was presumed dead for the last 15 years, and made up a lie that a guy known as Alcazar broke him out of jail in order to find the treasure, or he will kill him. Then Nate Sally bought that lie, and so did Sally, and they officially went to Rome when they stole the other crucifix, then went to Scotland when they investigated the cathedral where Harry Avery was buried, and they came into conflict with Rafe Adler, and who is now their enemy, and his new partner Nadine Ross and her company Shoreline. Then ended up in Madagascar, and eventually they ended up into the Caribbean again, into the to find the lost island of Libertalia, where the treasure is out there. And here, sadly, his relationship with Elena got at an all-time low, to say at least, to the point they came very close to an actual divorce. And as well as the fact that it's revealed that Sam kind of lied to him, and Rafe took him out in order to find the treasure, and pretty much, and Sam then disappeared, or Rafe recontacted Nate. And now, Nate, Helena, Sally all went to save Sam, but sadly, as Sam found himself back into trouble, Nate would go to save him again. And now, before we continue, need to stop and ask, is Nate a good person? And I put this question because, I mean, it's an undeniable fact that Nate is the lesser evil among himself and all the other villains, given the fact that he does not seek to rule the world or get rich or no, or to destroy everyone or everything or anything like that. No, Nate simply does everything he does to fulfill the last wish of his mother, given that his mother likely was exactly just like him, and he does all of this in order to continue her legacy in a way, and it's the same reason why Sam does everything he does. But sadly, at the end of the day, Nate is not innocent. He killed people, he killed many people, he does not feel any kind of remorse. He lied to his wife Elena, even before marriage, for multiple times. He shown a lot of obsession towards all of this treasure hunting, and pretty much, yeah, he kind of risk everybody. Sally, who is like his father, and put him in danger. Even Sam, which caused his presumed death to begin with. Even Elena, even his other friends like Chloe and Charlie. But it does not matter what. Nate is still pretty much a good person, and while he's not innocent, he is definitely he's definitely the lesser evil among himself and all the others. The answer in the end is yes. Nate is a good person, but he's pretty much very flawed to begin with. And in the end, he ultimately succeeded. He managed to defeat Rafe, saved Sam, and they both went out together. And now, with this adventure, Nate fully retired from treasure hunting altogether. He restarted his relationship with Elena, and they both bought the underwater scavenge company and reformed it like something like a legal archaeologist research company, now legal framework, owned by legal framework. And now they officially got rich over time, and eventually fathered a daughter in Cassandra Drake, naming her after in the honor of his mother. And now by the 2020s, now Nate is still alive in his 50s, and his daughter very likely will walk his footsteps. So in the end, who is Nathan Drake? He's nothing more but a simple man, a simple orphan who pretty much lost everything. An orphan that ultimately grown up into a strong man that will do anything it takes in order to search and to research the world, to find what he wants and to take what he wants. A man that will ultimately fight the forces of evil head on and will do anything in his power to protect himself and his loved ones and indirectly speaking the world. And a man that could easily be called as one of the most iconic characters in all video game industry. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe and have a nice day.
Avery makes a grand toast. For God and liberty! Arg, ahoy, mateys, all that. And they all take a swig. Except these two. And just like that, all the treasure of Libertalia becomes the sole possession of two men. These are some of history's greatest pirates, and they all perished in an instant at this very table.